Another game against Atlanta and another W for the Raptors. This is the Airborne Podcast. I'm your host, Ajith, and this was just another professional win. It was a game that we should have got. We got our 8th straight victory, and Atlanta is one of the worst teams in the Eastern Conference. So there's nothing else you should expect but a W tonight. And congratulations to Pascal Siakam getting Eastern Conference Player of the Week. The Raptors going 4-0 in that week, and he averaged about 24 points. And also congratulations to Kyle Lowry becoming the all-time assist leader in Raptors franchise history with 3,772 assists, passing Jose Calderon. The downfall to tonight's victory was Marc Gasol went back to the locker room twice. They said that he had a hamstring soreness. He did not return. And OG also went back to the locker room in that fourth quarter holding his shoulder. And the funny thing about Marc Gasol going back to the locker room was there was only 4 people on the court. Serge Ibaka did not enter the floor, and they gave the Raptors a technical. And Nick Nurse is like, "Are you guys being serious? Are you actually being serious right now?" Honestly, this was an easy win from start to finish. Like, I don't think anyone in the building, anyone that's actually a Raptors fan that was watching the game, had any reason to be scared that we would lose this game. And the tribute they gave Kobe was as classy as it gets. The Raptors, returned back home for the first time since the incident and since the death of Kobe Bryant, and they gave an 81-second tribute video, and then they had a 24-second moment of silence. And then, it was just beautiful. It was honestly really nice to see. Bobby Webster, the GM of the Raptors, talked about it at halftime, saying they purposely did that, and they wanted to do something nice because he deserved it. 81-second tribute video was, paying homage to his 81-point performance against the Raptors in 2006, January 22nd, just 4 days before the day of his passing. We're going to break it down, take a deep dive into the details of this ball game. But to be honest, there isn't much to talk about. The Raptors, they won on a bunch of different runs in different quarters tonight. Starting off with the first quarter, they went on an 8-0 run at the beginning of the first quarter. Cam Reddish ended that run with the floater. Marc Gasol turns back the clock and drives right into the lane and dunks it on them. Vince Carter even had a throwback moment. I think he felt like he was back in the early 2000s with the Raptors seeing the retro court, because he was shooting those threes like it was wet like water. Like, the man was shooting rainbow threes, mid-range shots. They were all going in. The rainbow shot that I was talking about that he got from 3, he looked at OG Anunoby running back the court when he was running back the other way, and he was laughing at him because OG did not expect that one to go in. But Raptors in that first quarter, they were leading by 10. By the end of the first quarter, they were up 33-23. They shot 52% from the field, 31% from beyond the arc. And OG Anunoby was very active on the defensive end in that first quarter. He had 3 blocks. I believe in the first 6 minutes of that game, he was contesting 3 balls after 3 balls. I think he got one on Trae Young. He might have got one on DeAndre Hunter or Cam Reddish, I'm not sure. But I know for a fact he had 3 blocks at the end of that first quarter. Second quarter comes along. I mentioned Vince Carter was shooting the high-arcing 3 when OG started laughing, running back the other way. Raptors go on another 8-0 run to start that quarter. Brandon Goodwin ends it with the layup in the paint. And then Kyle Lowry gives a no-look dime to Terrence Davis II for an easy basket. Raptors end up leading How much were they up? Raptors were up 68-56 at the half. Their defense wasn't that great tonight. They were giving up points, a lot of points in every quarter to the Atlanta Hawks, but they were outscoring them by a lot too, so they were able to pull this off without any upsets. But yeah, the Raptors were up 12 at halftime, and they were shooting 51% from the field and 35% from beyond the arc. Their bench points, they were killing it at halftime, up by 17, 29-12, and they had 16 points off of 9 Atlanta Hawk turnovers. Third quarter, same thing. Raptors are killing them. They were able to take care of the ball so well tonight. I think by the end of through 3 quarters, they only had 7 turnovers, and for the game, I believe they ended the game off with only 12 turnovers, but their starters were all out with like 6 minutes left to go, a little under 6 minutes. I believe like the bench players came in with like 5:52 left. And as a total, for the game, the Raptors shot 50%, 48 of 97 from the field. They shot 13 of 43 from beyond the arc for 30%, which is horrible. But they got 13 threes. So not only did Kyle Lowry become the all-time assist leader in franchise history, but he rewarded everybody, or the team rewarded everyone, with free French fries again, getting 12-plus threes at home. And yeah, Raptors weren't great from the free throw line. Pascal Siakam had a hard time shooting free throws tonight. And they were only 78% from the free throw line, 21-27. Rebounds, we were a +8. We were 52. Yeah, we had 52 boards to Atlanta Hawks 44. Offensive rebounds, we were even, 10 apiece. Assists, we only had 26. Atlanta had 28. Steals were even, 10 apiece. Blocks, we had 6. They had 2. Turnovers, we only had 12. And we've been really good. We're one of the best teams when it comes to taking care of the ball in the NBA. Atlanta Hawks, not that much. They had 18 turnovers. And personal fouls, we had 26. They had 23. And fouls, technical fouls, we had 1. They had none. But through the quarters, though, the Raptors were able to, like I said, they held them to a decent amount of points in that first quarter because they scored 33 and Atlanta they held Atlanta to 23. But after that, they just took their foot off the defensive pedal. Because after the first quarter, the second quarter, Raptors scored 35 points and let Atlanta score 33. And then in the third quarter, Raptors scored 29 points and they allowed Atlanta to score 27, which is all right. I mean, in today's NBA, 25 points, 27 points isn't that bad. But on the Raptors standard, when you're looking at the Raptors and how they've been playing defense like through the season, you would expect them to be better. And in the fourth quarter, I don't blame them because the third stringers were basically on, and they allowed 33. Well, the Raptors scored 33 points and allowed Atlanta to score 31. Top scorers for the game on the A side, the winning side, the Toronto Raptors, the NBA champions, was we're going to give it to Kyle Lowry. Kyle Lowry had himself a ball game. Well, not really, but he flirted with a triple-double. He had 12 points, 11 assists, and 8 rebounds. I thought he was going to get that triple-double, but they pulled him out. You know, they don't want to disrespect the other team, and I understand that. It is what it is. The man's had so many other triple-doubles before, so it's not a big deal. Pascal Siakam, he's getting back into form. And in 27 minutes, he had 24 points, 9 rebounds, 2 assists, 8 of 20 from the field, 6 of 10 from the free throw line, 2 of 8 from the three-point line with a block, and that's about it. And Kyle Lowry, 12 points, 8 rebounds, 11 assists in 33 minutes, 4 of 8 from the field, 2 of 2 from the free throw line, 2 of 5 from the three-point line with the steal, and he had 5 turnovers. Fred VanVleet, 29 minutes. He had 19 points, a rebound, 3 assists, 8 of 16 from the field, no free throw attempts, 3 of 7 from the free throw line. 3 of 7 from the three-point line, 1 steal, and 2 turnovers. Serge Ibaka got a few more extra minutes with Marc Gasol out of the game, and he was able to produce a double-double in 27 minutes. He had 24 points, 10 boards, no assists, 9 of 14 from the field, 4 of 6 from the free throw line, 2 of 7 from the three-point line with 2 steals, and that's about it. Norman Powell, he's been scoring double digits for a while now. I've lost count how many games, but it was around like 6 or 7 games. But today, he got back to the old Norman Powell. 24 minutes, he only scored 6 points, 2 rebounds, and an assist. 2 of 9 from the field, 2 of 2 from the free throw line, and 0 of 2 from the three-point line with 4 steals and 2 turnovers. Terrence Davis was magnificent off the bench tonight. 23 minutes, he had 15 points, 6 boards, 1 assist, and he was a man who converted on the bucket that gave Kyle Lowry the assist to make him become the all-time assist leader in franchise history, in Raptors franchise history. Chris Boucher got some minutes with OG and Marc Gasol out, and he had 9 points, 5 rebounds, and assist in 13 minutes. 4 of 8 from the field, 1 of 1 from the free throw line, 0 of 3 from the three-point line with the steal, and yeah, that's it. Everyone else wasn't that effective. Marc Gasol, in the time he played, 16 minutes, he scored 10 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist. Most of it came in the first quarter, and he was 4 or 5 from the field, no free throw attempts, and he's 2 of 2 from the three-point line with 2 blocks, and that's it. But the Raptors don't take what Marc Gasol gives us for granted, because ever since he's come back into this lineup, we haven't lost a game. This is 8 in a row now, and we're going to be playing a back-to-back against Cleveland and Detroit, and hopefully this whatever he went out for isn't that bad, because we need him back in the lineup. We might be able to survive these next 2 games without him, but hopefully he doesn't get to that point, I hope, because he did leave early and he was able to walk off the court normally. It didn't look like how he felt that game when he actually got injured in Detroit, when he had the hamstring injury and he was out for like 12 games. So fingers crossed he comes back for the next game. For the Atlanta Hawks, we'll start with Vince Carter, who got a standing ovation today. The Raptors are giving him all the standing ovations because this is his last season from what he said, and the Raptors are 3-0 against the Atlanta Hawks this season. They've been smacking him up for the last, I don't know how many years, like 4 years, but there is one more game against the Atlanta Hawks. I believe it's in Toronto. I might be wrong, but either way, no, I think it is in Toronto. Yeah, because I think we played 2 in Atlanta already. So he has one more game here, and pretty sure it's going to be a louder standing ovation for him. But maybe he might, trade deadline's coming. I'm hoping if we have a few more retro nights that we could get him back on our team for the second half of the season, and he can rock one of those jerseys for the season before his career comes to an end. How lit would that be? But yeah, Vince Carter in 18 minutes, he had 10 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 4 of 9 from the field, no free throw attempts, 2 of 6 from the three-point line with 2 steals and a turnover. Cam Reddish, 30 minutes, he had 18 points, 6 rebounds, an assist. He was 7 of 16 from the field, no free throw attempts, and 4 of 11 from 3 with 1 steal, 1 block, 2 turnovers. DeAndre Hunter, 33 minutes, 15 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, 6 of 13 from the field, no free throw attempts, 3 of 8 from the three-point line, and that's about it. John Collins had himself a ball game tonight. He's the second running man to Trae Young for this Atlanta Hawk team. But in 33 minutes, he had 28 points, 12 rebounds, no assists, 11 of 14 from the field, 6 of 6 from the free throw line, 0 of 1 from the three-point line with 1 block, 4 turnovers. Kevin Huerter, 38 minutes, 9 points, 4 rebounds and assists, 3 of 10 from the field, 1 of 3 from the three-point line. 1 of 3 from the free throw line, 2 of 9 from the three-point line with 1 steal, 1 turnover. Trae Young, last time we played him, he had 42 points, 15 assists. This time they played him better, obviously. Going into this game, they knew they couldn't let him go off for that because they almost came back and won that game in Atlanta. But he only had 18 points, 2 rebounds, 13 assists in 28 minutes, 5 of 13 from the field, 7 of 8 from the free throw line, 1 of 7 from the three-point line, and no blocks, no steals, 7 turnovers. And that's basically it. Everyone else was scoring in single digits for the team, but those were your main contributors for the Atlanta Hawks. Next ball game, like I mentioned, is going to it's against Cleveland. It's a back-to-back, Cleveland and Detroit. I believe it's Thursday against Cleveland, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so we go to Cleveland on Thursday, and then we travel to Detroit on Friday for a back-to-back, and then we come back home, a 2-game homestand against Chicago and Indiana, and then we go back to Indiana to play them. So it's like a home and home with Indiana. We play the Indiana Pacers on February 5th in Toronto, and then we travel to Indianapolis to play them on February 7th. But the schedule is looking pretty nice right now. If everything goes well and we're healthy, we should be able to extend this winning streak to 12. Maybe 13, even 14 maybe. I'd say 15, 16, 7. It could be endless, but if I'm being realistic, we could extend this win streak to 12. If Marc Gasol is healthy for the Indiana Pacers home and home games. I think we could win without Marc Gasol the next 3 games. I think against Cleveland, against Detroit and Chicago, we can beat them with Ibaka starting. But you never know. Raptors sometimes, they come to play. Sometimes they give up leads like they did against Portland, OKC, and San Antonio at home. Marc Gasol is a huge piece to our team. I've been saying this time and time again. Even though I was frustrated with him not being able to score, he's a very valuable piece that we should not let go or trade at the deadline. And if he's willing to sign for a low amount for another 2 years, I think we should keep him because he's a smart defender that could play the big guys that are very scary in this league, like Joel Embiid, Nikola Jokic, Karl Anthony Towns, all those guys. You can see how he impacts our team on the defensive end against those big guys. But yeah, that's going to do it for now. Hope you all enjoyed the game. Hope you all enjoyed this podcast. If you did, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and show your boy that love. Support your boy. And I'll see you back here Thursday night for the Cleveland postgame podcast. Till then, stay blessed, stay woke, and please stay safe. Peace!